A wise person once said, "The saddest thing about betrayal is that it never comes from your enemies." I actually got that from The Amazing World of Gumball, but that's besides the point. Betrayal is practically synonymous with Big Brother in social strategy games as a whole. More often than not, the entire cast is competing with one goal in mind: come out victorious and take home that grand prize money. As a result, people are willing to do whatever it takes to win and often expect themselves to turn on their closest allies at some point in the game. However, some house guests take betrayal one step further and go out of their ways to nominate and target their allies when they win HOH. They often perceive it as a huge move and a resume builder, serving as tangible evidence that they were willing to not only play independently, but make whatever moves necessary to advance their game forward. Does it work out for them though? Not really, but it's still fun and dramatic to see nonetheless. So, with all of that preamble out of the way, it is the one and only RJ21 here, and let's talk about 5 times HOHs betrayed their allies in Big Brother.
America probably thinks I'm a bitch. It's worse things.
Before we get into this list, I do want to give an honorable mention to a certain HOH reign, Fessel's HOH in Big Brother 20. While this HOH reign is perfect for this video, the only reason I'm choosing to not talk about it in depth is because numerous people have already talked about this HOH reign at length about how absolutely awful it was. If you want a more detailed explanation of it, I highly suggest you check out Peridium's video on the most abysmal HOH reigns, as it covers the topic very well.
That walks like a duck and quacks like a duck is probably a damn duck. So water your way onto that jury house, Scotty.
The first real entry we're going to be talking about is Jeff betraying Russell in Big Brother 11. It's the final 6, and the house is composed of 3 duos: Jeff and Jordan, who are in a showmance, Michelle and Russell, who are frenemies, and Natalie and Kevin, who are the underdogs. The reason Natalie and Kevin are the underdogs is because the former 2 duos are working together, making a 4-person majority. So, when Jeff wins HOH at the final 6, he makes the obvious play in nominating Kevin and Natalie, with Kevin being the target. However, Kevin pulled off some S-tier gameplay and completely fooled Jeff into thinking that Russell, one of Jeff's allies, was plotting behind his back to evict him. The simple threat of Russell possibly turning on Jeff created enough paranoia to have Jeff strongly consider shifting his target from Kevin onto Russell. Kevin then promised to keep Jeff safe the next round if he were to win HOH, even though Kevin was never going to honor this deal, and this all but sealed Russell's fate. So, when Jeff won the power of veto, he vetoed his original target in Kevin and nominated Russell, with the intention of sending Russell home. Ultimately, Jeff got what he wanted, as Russell was evicted in a unanimous 3-0 vote by the end of the week. However, this move proved to be fatal, as Kevin, the person Jeff literally just saved, won HOH, went back on his deal to target Jeff, and successfully evicted him from the house, landing Jeff in 5th place. If Jeff would have just stuck to his original plan and targeted Kevin instead of Russell, he likely has a near guaranteed path to the end and could have won the season. Instead, he got tricked into evicting his ally and immediately suffered the consequences.
Finally, HOH. I'm excited, I'm happy, obviously. This is my time to shine.
At this point, Natalie and I are gonna tell Jeff and Jordan whatever it takes to stay another week in this game, and if they're dumb enough to take the bait, the first chance we get, we're gonna stab them in the back.
Russell, I put your key first. I made you feel safe. That's exactly the way I wanted you to feel. But I really don't trust you. You might have to pay to Reaper this week. I have decided to use the veto on Kevin. Russell?
Jeff, you're an idiot. You are as dumb as I thought you were. He now is the strongest player in the house and assumes that target. Congratulations, you're up next.
Jeff, it is official. You are evicted from the Big Brother house.
This next entry is a bit of an underrated one that I don't see a lot of other people talking about, and it's Frankie betraying Zach in Big Brother 16. It's week 8 and Derek and Frankie won HOH. Remember that Big Brother 16 is the season with the Battle of the Block, which is why there are 2 initial HOHs. Derek nominated Christine and Donnie, while Frankie nominated Caleb and Cody. The plan was for Christine to throw the Battle of the Block so Donnie would remain on the block, as he was the target for the week, meaning Caleb and Cody were supposed to win safety and Frankie was supposed to be dethroned. However, Donnie absolutely beasted the Battle of the Block, winning the competition all by himself, saving Christine and himself and dethroning Derek, leaving Frankie as the remaining HOH and Caleb and Cody as the nominees, the exact opposite of what the majority alliance planned for the week. This leaves Frankie in a really bad position as his primary target in Donnie was now safe for the week, and Frankie was working with basically everyone else in the house, meaning he was essentially forced into targeting one of his allies. To be fair, Frankie could have shifted his target onto Victoria, someone he wasn't as closely aligned with on a game level and wasn't in the majority alliance with, but Frankie was closely aligned with Derek at the time, and Frankie didn't want to upset him after Derek publicly announced that he wanted to keep Victoria safe for the week. Ultimately, Frankie chose to shift his target onto Zach due to Zach's antics throughout the prior weeks and his general untrustworthiness in relation to the majority alliance, despite the fact that Zach was undyingly loyal to Frankie and wanted to go very deep into the game with him. So, when Frankie won the power of veto, similarly to Jeff as we just talked about, Frankie vetoed Caleb, one of his own nominees, and nominated Zach as the replacement nominee with the intention of evicting him. By the end of the week, Frankie was successful as Zach was evicted in a unanimous 8-0 vote, but was this the right move for him? In hindsight, not really. While the move didn't have any instant ramifications, Frankie's move to take out Zach did nothing but further strengthen the majority alliance and by extension, Derek's power structure, making it even easier for Derek to steamroll his way to the win. If Frankie had kept Zach safe and nominated someone like Victoria, while it may not have been the biggest move in the world, it would have at least weakened Derek's stranglehold on the game and given Frankie the opportunity to usurp Derek later on down the road. All in all, while Frankie's move didn't initially tank his game, it made his path to the end that much more difficult, which eventually led to his demise.
I have been thinking about what to do this week constantly. I think this is too big of an opportunity to pass up. I have to get Zach out of the game this week. I have decided to use the power of veto on Caleb. So Zach, my friend, please go and have a seat. It's time for you and Julie Chen to finally meet.
I feel betrayed by Frankie straight up. I've been with this guy since day one, as friends, as an alliance member. I've had his back, and this is how he treats me. It's the worst feeling in the world.
These next 3 entries are all correlated as it's a back-to-back-to-back triple season special because this new era of house guests just love targeting their allies for some reason. This next entry is one that, in hindsight, changed the trajectory of the season for the worse, and it's Felicia betraying Hisam in Big Brother 25. To give some context for the house dynamics, there are currently 2 sides of the house. The Professors, which consists of the older house guests, and Family Style, which consists of the younger house guests, and Cameron, for some reason. In week 2, Hisam was HOH and took a shot at Family Style, successfully evicting their leader in Riley. However, the manner in which Hisam evicted Riley rubbed basically everyone in the house the wrong way, as many people likened his actions to that of a dictator, attempting to control everyone in his alliance and tell them exactly what they have to do. This is very problematic when you have people like Suri, Felicia, and Nicole, who are all very strong-minded and independent individuals in your alliance and do not like being talked down to. So, when Felicia wins HOH in week 3, her plan the entire week is to backdoor Hisam due to Hisam's Comp B status. She nominates Cameron and Jag as pawns, and Jag wins the power of veto, ensuring that Felicia's plan will go through and she can nominate Hisam, which she ends up doing. By the end of the week, Hisam is unanimously evicted in an 11-0 vote, landing him in 14th place. However, this move proved to be detrimental to not just Felicia, but the entire Professor side of the house, as with Hisam gone, there was nobody on their side who could consistently win competitions over the likes of Jag and Cameron, especially considering the very physical layout of the future competitions, leaving them vulnerable for practically all weeks to come. With basically none of the future comp results going their way from this point moving forward, the Professors were slowly picked off, one by one, with Bowie Jane being the only one to find success due to her newfound allegiance with Matt and Jag, 2 people initially on the Family Style side of the house. Felicia did end up in 4th place, which is not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but things could have gone a lot better if she had kept Hisam around for just a little longer. If Felicia targets someone like Cameron during her HOH, then Hisam could potentially win these future physical competitions and target the likes of Jag and Matt, giving the Professors, more specifically the likes of Suri and Felicia, a much better chance at winning the season. Instead, Felicia targeted one of her loyal soldiers and relegated herself to pawn status for the remainder of the season.
So this is supposed to be a collaborative effort. The Professors is a group of 7, and again, Hisam is the only voice that matters in the room. Not so fast, Mr. Hisam. I got a brain too. I'm sorry, Mr. Hisam, and I love you to death, boo, but it really is your time to go. Why take out a knight when you can take out a king? Hisam, you're my replacement nominee.
I'm pissed because the people I trusted are the people who stabbed me in the back. It's shocking, isn't it? It's shocking.
The next entry in this trilogy is an iconic one, as it single-handedly lost this person this season in terms of jury prospects, and it's Makensy betraying Leah in Big Brother 26. It's the final 7, and the house is composed of 3 groups. One duo consisting of Chemo and Rubina, one duo consisting of Angela and Leah, and one trio consisting of Chelsea, Makensy, and Cam. All things considered, Makensy was actually in a pretty decent position as she had her trio, but she also had a really good game relationship with the duo of Angela and Leah. Leah especially, considering that they have been closely aligned with each other since the beginning of the season. Makensy had also spent the entire prior week strengthening her game relationship with Angela, so it seemed like Makensy was poised to do well for this endgame. So, when Makensy wins HOH, you would think she would target the only houseguest she isn't closely working with in Chemo and Rubina. But nope. She doesn't do that because that would be too easy and make too much sense. Instead, Makensy chooses to initially target Angela, nominating Angela and Chemo. But then, Makensy wins the power of veto and has the opportunity to fix her HOH by taking Angela off of the block and replacing her with Rubina, ensuring that one of Chemo or Rubina goes home, most likely Chemo. However, Makensy gets outplayed hard by Chelsea and is manipulated into believing that Leah is untrustworthy and she should target Leah instead. Makensy absolutely falls for this and uses the power veto to save Chemo and nominates Leah in his place with the intention of sending Leah home. Makensy does get her wish as Leah is evicted in a unanimous 3-0 vote by the end of the week, but this move lost Makensy the game. Everybody in the jury, especially Quinn and Leah, could not fathom how this move was good for Makensy's game, and this led the jury to believe that Makensy was nothing but a comp beast puppet for Chelsea, sapping any chances of her winning the season. That's not even getting into the fact that Makensy made herself a huge target and likely would have gone home directly after Leah in the double eviction had Chelsea not won HOH, but I'm getting ahead of myself. To put it shortly, Makensy's decision to betray Leah ruined her chances of winning the season.
I finally won HOH. I'm going to use this to set up the rest of my game. That way I can make it to finale night, and it all starts by getting out a huge threat of mine this week.
I'm making one last effort to convince Makensy that Leah needs to go this week.
Even though I have been friends with Leah all season, she may not be the best person to keep in this game for me.
Hold up. This is actually kind of working.
Leah, I'm gonna have to name you as replacement nominee.
I truly and honestly had her back. It's just so stupid.
I'm really frustrated that she sent you home, Leah, because that does not make sense for her.
Many of those moves perhaps were influenced by other people, namely Chelsea.
The final entry on this list is actually the HOH reign that inspired me to make this video in the first place, and it is Mickey betraying Jimmy in Big Brother 27. It's week 4 and Riley just won HOH with the intention of nominating Mickey, Morgan, and Ashley in an attempt to go after the power players and flush out whatever power remained in the game. However, Mickey successfully activated her power, dethroning Riley and becoming the new head of household. She then nominates Keanu, Kelly, and Riley, with Keanu as the primary target. But then Keanu wins the golden power veto, meaning he was likely going to be safe for the week and forcing Mickey to put up a replacement nominee. At this point, you would think that Mickey would nominate someone like Catherine, who is a close ally of Riley and a definitive number for the other side, or maybe someone like Vince if she wanted to make a big move, considering how Mickey has grown suspicious of Vince and his sudden proximity to her allies like Morgan. However, Mickey does the exact opposite of all of this. Instead of targeting Riley, you know, the person she stole HOH from that was going to nominate her, which caused her to activate her power in the first place, she instead begins aligning herself with Riley, wanting to protect him and his showmates in Catherine. To make matters even worse, Mickey then gets absolutely snowed by the trio of Morgan, Zach, and Vince into thinking they're in a tight-knit alliance and that the person Mickey should actually target is Jimmy. the person Mickey has been aligned with since the beginning of the season. Instead of targeting someone on the other side of the house through a safe move like Catherine or a big move like Vince, she targets one of her most undyingly loyal allies and a huge shield in front of her in Jimmy, making it even more likely that she is going to get targeted in the future. Jimmy has literally gotten on his knees and acted like a butler for Mickey in the past, and she has the audacity to question where his loyalty lies? Like, are we actually being serious? Now, I do have to note that at the time of this recording, the season is still going on, and we have no idea how this move pans out for Mickey. If Mickey does end up winning the season, I'll shut up and eat my own words, but as of right now, I don't agree with this move at all, as this might go down as one of the most egregious examples of an HOH targeting their ally.
Riley is insisting that he would not have put me up on the block, which I don't believe, which is why I used my power. I couldn't risk that.
And I'm sorry I acted the way I acted, you know.
I really like Riley, and I think there's a way that he and I can work together to accomplish my goals for this week.
I'm willing to share some information with her, say what I need to say, do what I need to do, so I don't end up as the replacement nominee.
But he's cool with Keanu right now.
And now to learn that he attempted to create an alliance with one of his biggest targets, how could I possibly ignore that Jimmy has been making moves against me? Jimmy.
Me going up on the block is the ultimate blindside and betrayal. I feel like I have two knives sticking out of my back, and on the hilt of each of them it says Mickey and Morgan. I just can't even believe this is real life right now.
All in all, is it ever a good idea to target your allies if you are HOH? In rare occasions, yes, but more often than not, choosing to target your own allies on your HOH is most likely the wrong call, as you are deliberately removing a number from your own side and making it easier for the opposition to dismantle your power structure, which could lead to your eventual demise. But those are just my thoughts. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends if you have any of those, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.
There's a rat in the Big Brother house, and if it ain't up to me, it's up to my boy here and Sniffy up there. We're
Tell him, dude, I'm gonna smell him out.